This is a review of Exam 2 to help you prepare for the exam. And to begin with, we're going to look at problem number 1 on the review, which says to find slope. Now, we know how to find slope if the problem was in the form y equals mx plus b. And in this problem, we have a number times x, but we don't have b. So you can just assume that b is 0. So here we have y equals mx plus b, and m represents the slope, so we know that m is 1/3. Okay, here are common wrong answers. M does not equal 1/3 x. And also, m does not equal 0. Now, why would I suggest somebody would put that? Because this equation looks really similar. Y equals 1/3. But in the first equation, we have an x. In the second one, we don't. So in this second equation, y equals 1/3 means we have a horizontal line, and that means m does equal 0. So for the problem at hand, we have this, but if your equation had been y equals 1/3 with no x, you would have had m equals 0. Okay, problem number 2. Let me see if I can erase that and that. Okay, we are going to find the slope of a line containing these points. So you have to memorize this equation that slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we'll call this x1 y1 and x2 y2. You could have done it the other way around. Okay, so we want y2 minus y1, and y2 is -7 minus, and then notice this, y1 is negative 1. So you have to put the -1, so you have minus a negative, and minus a negative is the same thing as plus a positive. So what we have is -7 plus 1 on top. All of that over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is -3. And again, we have minus a negative is plus a positive, so we just have 3 plus 3. So we have -7 plus 1 is -6. Got to go back to my other color. So now we have -6 over 3 plus 3 is 6. We have one negative. That makes the number negative. 6 divided by 6 is 1. And so we know that m equals -1. Now let's look at problem number 3. Is 2/8 a solution of this equation? The way you do that is you plug in your x and y. So 2 is the x and 8 is the y. We have 3x, which is 3 times 2, minus 5y, which is 5 times 8. If that turns out to equal 14, then that means 2/8 is a solution of this equation. So 6 minus 40 equals -34, and that does not equal 14, so no, it is not a solution. Find the slope. This problem is just like number 1. Find the slope. We have y equals -2x. There's an x in the y and a y in this equation, so we know that the slope does not equal 0, and we know that y equals negative 2x is the same thing as y equals negative 2x plus b, which is in the form of y equals mx plus b. So m, our slope, is negative 2. That's going to be the first part of 4 parts for this video.